Hi! I'm not really sure how to start this video, to be honest, so let's just jump in. If you remember from last video, I said in the summer of 2022 I got a weird haircut. You know something else weird I did that year? Take a summer acting class at a nearby theater. This opportunity came to me in maybe May or so. My friend's grandma got a card in the mail advertising a class at a nearby theater. She thought maybe I'd like it. You see, at the time I was pretty, not someone who'd willingly put themselves into an acting class where, I'd have to act. In front of people. But I took the card and showed it to my dad. A few days later, my dad came into my room and asked if I wanted to be signed up or not. Oh, yeah, I want to go. Okay. And that's when I realized I would be doing this alone and stepping way out of my comfort zone. Soon enough, the 11th of July came and it was the first day of class. I got dressed, put on my favorite blue jacket, and hopped in the car to go to my first day of class. I arrived, and boy, my acting teacher was a character from the start in the absolute best way possible. Me and my dad stood outside the building with all the other students and their parents, and then my teacher came out. Let's call him Ryan. Close enough. He started off with a loud whistle and a "Yippee-ki-yay, cowboys and cowgirls, let's get this show on the road!" And we were all like, whoa, okay. I looked at my dad and said bye, and that was the start of my first day. I was here alone and I was gonna make the best of it. Once we were all situated, we walked up to our classroom. Once we got there was a line of chairs among an open floor and we all sat down. Ryan sat down too and explained to us what this class was gonna cover, the history and other stuff. The first day was partly dedicated to a tour of the theater, each room and its purpose. Now I'm gonna get into the drills, because what's an acting/theater class without its acting drills and warm-ups? One that was my favorite was, I forgot the name of it, but think of charades, right? It's basically that with a few more steps added. Basically, my teacher would take a student volunteer out of the room. Ryan would give them a scene, and the student would have to walk out into the open floor in front of us and act out the scene they were given. Example. Say the prompt is teacher giving a lecture. The student would have to come out into the open floor and act like they're a teacher giving a lecture to their class. And here's where the extra steps come in. The students viewing the student volunteer would have to analyze what they're doing, and then they'd have to come up and act in the scene with the first person. So if the teacher is giving a lecture and someone else caught on to that, they'd join the scene and act with them. And one by one, each student would come onto the scene until no one was left. I thought it was so fun, and I really enjoyed it. A few days in, our teacher tells us we'd be doing an acting showcase to show our friends and family who came what we learned in that acting workshop. We were all like, okay, In addition to showing the acting warm-ups we were learning, he gave us a mini play to do. He assigned the roles based on what he thought fit us. I can't really remember the name of the play or really what it was about, but from what I can remember, it's about teenagers trying to fit into a new town or something. We spend the next week rehearsing our roles. I got assigned the character Mary. Mary was a character who had an ex or something, and things are kind of complicated, but Mary has a friend working with her at a hot dog stand in the mall named Annie. Annie's kind of like Mary's wing woman, and she's very honest with her. So, like I say, we spend the next week rehearsing our roles and warming up. Then comes the day of the showcase. We spend the few hours before the showcase rehearsing. After me and my classmate rehearsed our scene a few times, I wanted some water and honestly a break. So I walk up to Ryan to ask for that drink of water. But before that, I noticed one of my other classmates talking to him and leaving the rehearsal area with haste. What happened was, the classmate wasn't feeling well, and I had to call her mom to leave, which just so happened as I was walking up to Ryan. Unbeknownst to me that we had just lost someone and no one was able to play their role, I walked up to ask for my drink of water and Ryan says, "Yes, but you're taking the role of Arlene." I was so shocked, all I could say was, "What?" I left quickly and walked into the hall to get my drink of water. I stood out in the hall processing that I just got a new role to play the day of the show, 30 minutes before they all came. I composed myself and walked out and started rehearsing my new role quickly. Oh, one thing I should mention is that we did have our scripts on hand, so that helped. Our teacher gave us our pre-show pep talk before everyone came in, and we got into places for our first scene. And the show turned out pretty well. Everyone was a perfect fit for their role, and everyone seemed to enjoy the showcase. And as for me, with the new role I received 30 minutes before the show came on, I ended up doing fine because I did have the script with me, and yeah, obviously I was nervous, but it worked out. After that, I said goodbye to my teacher, and that was it. That was my experience in acting class, one of the most memorable things I've ever done, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Another thing I gained from that class besides a new interest in acting was a new friend. Hi, Sophie. I guess a lesson you could take from this video is step out of your comfort zone once in a while. You'll have a new experience and maybe even come out of it with a new friend. Hello, if you're still here. I'm gonna put up this fan art from my friend Sam. It's so cute, I love it, thank you. I'm so happy you all like my videos. I'm very happy about that. I also think this is my longest video. I mean, I'm looking at the time right now, it's a little over 5 minutes and 30 seconds, maybe even longer. Yeah, I don't know, I'm very happy about that, because my last 2 videos were kind of short, and I wanted them to be longer, so I'm happy this one's kind of meeting my mark. And I'm trying something different. Usually I record the audio after I draw out my scenes, but now I'm recording the audio before, so I'm gonna see if that works. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.